had the high top jelly, shooting skelly. Motherfuckers was all friendly, lounging at the barbecues, drinking brews with the neighborhood crews, hanging on the avenue. Turn your pages to 1993. Niggas is getting smoked, G. Believe me. Talk slick, you get your neck slick quick. Cause real street niggas ain't having that shit. Total text for rep. Smoking blunts in the project hallway. Shooting dice all day. Waiting for niggas to step up on some fighting shit. We get hype and shit and start fighting shit. So step away with your fist fight ways. Motherfucker, this ain't back in the days, but you don't hear me though. Back in the days. One, two, three. All it is to me is a mystery. I hear your motherfuckers talk about it. They seeing bodies with the motherfucking chalk around it. And I'm down with the shit too. Stupid motherfuckers wanna try to use kung fu. Instead of a Mac 10, he tried scrapping. Slugs in his back end. That's what the fuck happens when you sleep on the street. Little motherfuckers with heat wanna leave a nigga 6 feet deep. And we coming to the waist to make sure the crying and commotion ain't a motherfucking fake. Back in the days, our parents used to take care of us. Look at them now, they ain't fucking scared of us. Calling the city for help because they can't maintain. Damn, shit done changed.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy, the Green Town, coming from another video. The song you're hearing is none other than Biggie Smalls. Things done changed.
If I wasn't in the rap game, I'd have a key knee deep in the crack game. Because the streets is a short stop. Either you're slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. It's hard being young from the slums, eating 5-cent gums, not knowing where your meal's coming from. And now the shit's getting crazier and major. Kids younger than me, they got the Sky Grand pager. Going out of town, blowing up. 6 months later, all the dead bodies showing up. They make me want to grab the 9 and the shotty. But I gotta go identify the body. Damn, what happened to the summertime cookouts? Every time I turn around, a nigga getting took out. Shit, my mama got cancer in her breast. Don't ask me why I'm motherfucking stressed. Things done changed.
Yeah, things done changed. Remember the song, Biggie Small, Things Done Changed, which is the title of this video, which is Week 15. Eagles lost 37-17. 37-17. We lost by 20 points. And which brings me to this video, to this very moment. Now, I wasn't going to wait a day or two to make this video, but why not do it now? Because for the simple fact is, I still represent the Eagles. Always going to represent the Eagles to the day I die off the face of this earth. But first of all, let's start with the injuries up front. And this one particular injury is the reason why the Eagles lost this game in the first place. If you guys remember, Fletcher Cox went out in the he played in the first half of the game and got injured. They say he had a stinger in his neck, and that caused him to miss the second half of the game. And when that happened, the Cowboys took full advantage. They ran the football up the gut. They ran with Fletcher Cox normally holds down the left side or the right side of the football field on defense. They were able to do that. And then you had a couple of defensive tackles who backed him up in the first place, and that's Malik Jackson, who didn't do much of anything. And then the other boy that they signed from Pittsburgh, I can't think of his name right off the bat, he didn't do much of any doggone thing. So the Eagles had a bunch of guys on defense up front hurt. Josh Sweat didn't play in this game. Fletcher Cox got hurt in the first half of this game that went down today. And they had another defensive end that got hurt as well. So the Eagles, then Barnett got hurt. So the Eagles missing some key contributors in their front four of the day's game, and I kind of had some suspicion that the Eagles were going to lose this football game in the first place because I remember the commentator saying something about the Cowboys coach busted a watermelon inside their stadium, and this watermelon bust helped them win the game today. And if you look at the entire game from the Cowboys defense, offensive side of the football, they were more physical up front than we were. When Fletcher Cox got hurt, and along with Barnett and Josh Sweat, the physicality of the Eagles defense was no more. And linebackers couldn't do much. The Eagles put in a backup practice squad cornerback by the name of Jacquet. I think that's his name. I can't pronounce his whole name, but I know it says Jacquet on his jersey. The Cowboys picked on that man on every deep ball. The man could not cover Gallup, the Cowboys wide receiver. That boy had 181 yards, 2 scores on I think like 9 or 10 catches. He got constantly picked on in this entire game. I mean, watching this game was kind of embarrassing because for the simple fact that there was no defensive pressure on Andy Dalton in this entire game. The first half, it was no pressure. They couldn't get pressure. Well, in the first half, they kept the Cowboys. It was 17-3 going into halftime. 17-3, and well, no, I'm sorry. It was 17-6 because they actually kicked 2 field goals. 17-6. And the Eagles had the lead. They had the lead, and the lead went the way when Fletcher Cox got hurt in the second half because he did not come back in the second half of the entire game, and it kind of gave me a whole bunch of concerns for the defensive front because, like I said, Malik Jackson didn't do much. The other boy from Pittsburgh, I forgot his name, the defensive tackle, they only had 2 starting defensive tackles left in that entire game, and they got manhandled by the Cowboys offensive line. They got pushed off the ball. Ezekiel Elliott had a good game against the Eagles. He had 100 yards rush for the first time in 2 years, and this is quite depressing because the Eagles have also allowed. The Eagles allowed over 600 and some yards in this entire game. And the Dalton had 300 some yards passing. The running game was over 100 yards, and then they had 2 wide receivers over 100 yards passing. So the Eagles allowed over 600 yards passing in this entire game, which is the most they allowed all season. And it sickens me to even consider this because to all of y'all Jalen Hurts, dick kissers out there, yeah, I said it, dick kissers, because here's the thing. Y'all, for the longest, have been kissing this man dick for a long period of time. Y'all think that he was going to be the answer, the prayers to the Eagles season. The Cowboys made this man look like a rookie today. He coughed up the ball 3 times, 2 interceptions and 1 fumble that was recovered by the Eagles offense. If not for that fumble, the game probably would have gotten way out of reach because, like I said, the Eagles lost by 20 points, 37-27. They lost 37-17. That was, which is considered by many as a blowout. That's a blowout. You know what I'm saying? And the Eagles have been blown out majority of the games this year, the Eagles have gotten blown out, but not too many, not no 20-point blowout like this. Maybe like 10, maybe 15, but not 17. You know what I'm saying? So this is just crazy. This is completely crazy, and it bothers me because now the Eagles, the last game against the Washington Redskins, which is the top. I don't know why I'm saying Redskins. The Washington football team, one of the top 5 ranked defenses in the NFL. They are okay at quarterback. they're not quite sure about Alex Smith coming back, but that's a good chance he probably could. And if he does, I expect the same thing that the Cowboys did to the Eagles today. I expect the Washington football team to do the same in the last game of regular season. So if the Washington Redskins win next Sunday, they are the division champs. And personally, I would rather they be division champs than the Cowboys, because if the Cowboys are I think they 5-9, I believe they 5-9, 6-9, somewhere along been there. It's their record for after the day's win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles had many opportunities to win a football game, but like I said, they cut off the ball 3 times, 2 picks. Jalen Hurts threw 1 pick over the middle of the field, and that's why one of the Cowboys intercepted. They ran the ball like 25, 30 yards up the field to the outside of the field, like I think a 25-yard line. They ran the ball twice, and threw 1 ball to Michael Gallup, and Gallup caught that ball that Jalen Hurts, the first Jalen Hurts interception. The second interception that Jalen Hurts threw, he threw in the end zone, and the boy sprinted the ball back 25, 30 yards up the field, and that right there also. And then to make shit worse, because it was 17-30, but they threw another touchdown, and that made it 37-17. So I mean, it's really crazy, because see, now to go back to my point of the song, things done change. For the Eagles, it definitely has changed, because I had a small tiny dispute over Facebook today, and some guy was he's an Eagle fan, but he was contemplating about Carson Wentz and the draft. Now, my purpose now is to focus on the NFL draft, because see, now if there's some college games still going on between now and after New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, that's gonna be the end of the college football games for the rest of the year. So I said the Eagles need help on the defensive side of football, which they do, because see, Fletcher Cox got about 3 more years left on him, and he has a 2-year contract because he reworked his deal during the course of the NFL season. And so they gave him more money up front instead of having the signing bonus. The rest demand over the signing bonus, they gave him more money up front, so then he got 2 more years left on his contract. So he got about 3 more years left, or 3 more years in his tank to left. So I was trying to tell him that the Eagles need a defensive tackle. They need another defensive end, because I'm not quite sure how long BG is going to remain. And BG is going to the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career. He's gonna be he been an All-Pro once before. He has never made the Pro Bowl, and now he's going to the Pro Bowl for the first time in his NFL career. So they're gonna need another defensive end, another defensive tackle, maybe 2, because I don't expect Malik Jackson to be here after this year, because the simple fact is he's not a true he's a true defensive tackle, but he's more of a 3 technique tackle and 3-4 defense, which is where he came from when he was in Jacksonville and when he was in Denver. The other guy who came from Pittsburgh, he also wasn't a 3-4 scheme. So I expect the Eagles to trim their defensive roster when the season comes to an end. Fletcher Cox got 2 more years, like I said before. He ain't going nowhere, but I do expect either Malik Jackson or this other guy that they got from Pittsburgh to be released after this year, because Malik Jackson has a high a salary cap casualty contract this year. I expect him to be gone after this year. I don't expect Mills back, and McClellan, who's out for the season, I don't expect him back this year, because he's old, you know what I'm saying? He was having a pretty good season, you know what I'm saying? I think he had like 2 or 3 interceptions, 4, 5, 50 tackles. He was having a good year this year, but after today's injury, and he was playing on a 1-year deal, I don't expect him back after this year. So the Eagles are going to trim their roster. we need some linebackers. Everybody know we need linebackers because Al Singleton can't do it. He's the one linebacker that all NFL teams know about, that we know about. He's the only legitimate linebacker they have other than the other boy T.J. Watts or not Watt. I'm sorry, T.J. Watkins or something, whatever his name is. That linebacker, them two linebackers that most teams know about, but they're not legitimate linebackers. They're more like substitution linebackers. Because the fact is, we don't have a legit linebacker. The Eagles haven't had a legit linebacker since Kendricks. He was the last Pro Bowl All Pro linebacker the Eagles had. He was the last, and we haven't had a top-notch linebacker since. Him, him, and then the other boy who now play with Arizona. The Eagles had them the only two top linebackers had. The boy at Arizona couldn't stay healthy with the Eagles, so the Eagles let him go, and the boy been playing real good at Arizona lately. So it makes you wonder who's running this roster, who's drafting these players, and we all know who drafting these players is none other than Howard Roseman. Because see, if you look at this roster, it is complete. It is a complete disaster. I mean, you don't have no star power at cornerback other than Darius Slay. Mills is not no star caliber cornerback or safety, who I don't expect back next year either, because I expect Jim Schwartz to be fired after this season. I expect the Eagles to bring in an offensive coordinator. I expect them to bring in a new defensive coordinator, and I expect them to bring in a quarterbacks coach, because them are the three top positions the Eagles need after this season comes to an end. We need new ideas. I mean, Hurts can only do as much as he can, because like I said, he's a rookie doing mop-up duty for Carson Wentz. And everybody knows Carson Wentz is the franchise quarterback. He will be back next year because of the fact that the man due $100-something million between this year and last year. I mean, this year and next season. That's what I meant to say. So it's just so much. And these things will change after this season. They're going to release at least 6 players on defense. I do expect Malik Jackson to go. I expect the other boy that they brought in from Pittsburgh, I expect him to go. I expect he can cut them 2. I expect Mill to be released, and I expect Cleon to go. Them 2 linebackers that I mentioned other than Singleton, I expect one of them guys to go. And then on the offense side of the football, which is where the disaster is at its highest peak. The Eagles ran the football in the first half. They got out of it in the second half. They wanted the same thing they did to Carson Wentz. They tried to do with Jalen Hurts, keep the man in the pocket. Everybody knows Carson Wentz is an out the pocket passer, and so is Jalen Hurts. You can't keep them 2 quarterbacks in the pocket because they both are mobile. And I mean by mobile, I mean mobile quarterbacks. They believe in going out the pocket, completing passes. And if they stay in the pocket, they may stay in the pocket so often, or may stay or they may just do under the center type pocket passing. And that'd be the only way that you see quarterbacks stay in the pocket if they under center. And so, if you look at Carson Wentz and if you look at Jalen Hurts, both quarterbacks have played a bunch of shotgun formations. That means you're not under the center. You're standing high. You're standing high to receive the ball to come into your hands to get the ball out left, right, middle, or dinks and dunks for screen passes or jet sweeps. And this is just ridiculous because see, in this draft, everybody said that we need to draft an offensive lineman. No, we don't. We got plenty of offensive linemen. We got a couple of guys that went out for the rest of the season, and that's Driscoll and Brandon Brooks. They're the only 2 offensive linemen that's out for the rest of the year. And also JP's out for the rest of the year because his ankle or knee, whatever it was, in bottom, so he can go on, but he won't be back no more this year. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna get all that money because of the fact that when you don't work, you don't eat. And so they go back to the Eagles. If you don't play, you don't get paid. So all these guys that haven't got all these roster bonuses, if you're hurt, you don't get paid. But if you're on the sidelines, any attempt to come on the field or then be on the sideline just for second string quarterback, you will get your money still. But see, the Eagles got Carson Wentz on the sideline for the last 3 games, and the man's still getting paid. I mean, so you can't stop the man's money. He's still going to get his money regardless. And he's going to get his money after this season comes to an end, and he's going to get it next year. A lot of people talk about trading Carson Wentz. Now, let me nip this in the bud right quick, because I'm sick and tired of hearing about Carson Wentz being traded. The Eagles are not going to trade Wentz. You know why? And I mentioned it earlier in this video. The man is due $100-something million for the next couple of years. He due $50 million this year, and I think next year he gonna get the remaining $20 million, and that $20 million in the last amount of that money. And once that money is gone, then the last and final year of the deal, which will be in 2022, the Eagles have the option to either trade him or release him, because by that time that 1 year deal is more manageable for teams to either sign or trade for him. So Carson Wentz not going nowhere. Hurts, on the other hand, is the possibility of being a draft bait because he's younger. So I expect Hurts to be gone between next year and the year after. I expect him to be gone between 1 or 2 years. Because when you got more money tied to one player, if you cut that player, you're going to be on the back burner for so many millions of dollars. And once you be in that back burner for $1 million, it's going to hurt you 2 ways. You won't be able to sign a free agent or 2. And when you draft your players, you won't be able to sign your drafted players or draft rookie free agents or sign them. So you're hurting yourself for the next 2 or 3 years if you cut Carson Wentz. People don't see that. They see the man as him being a major fuck up. So when they say that, they want Carson Wentz gone. They want him traded. They want him released, such and such. They don't give a damn about the man anymore. But then, in the video that I watched yesterday, maybe next year, which is exactly that, next year. Because, see, Carson Wentz did real well in 2016 and 2017. If it wasn't for his 2017 MVP moments, the Eagles would not have won the Super Bowl, because if you remember now, Foles didn't play well in the last 3 starts of the NFL season. I mean of that NFL year, the last 3 games of the NFL year, he didn't play very well. He started playing better when he got to the playoffs. At the time, he played better. So when you have a backup who takes over for the starter, and you keep that starter on your roster the same year. See, Carson Wentz had to look over his back, not only for that year, but for this year as well, because the Eagles drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round, which made him look over his shoulders. The man was nervous, and the man played more hero balls than anything. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, so many complications with this damn team. It sickens me to a point that I'll be glad when the season comes to an end. So we won't have to worry about no more Eagle football till 2021, because it's going to be a changing of the guards this year. After this year comes to an end. Like I said, I expect them to bring in an offensive coordinator. I expect them to bring in a new defensive coordinator. And I expect them to bring in a new quarterback coach, because Brett Taylor ain't shit. The man is not a true quarterback coach. Mike Growth was a better... Oh, yeah, that's another thing, too. We probably need another wide receiver coach, because these wide receivers we got, they're not playing up to their expectations. You had Quez Watkins, you had Rager, and you got the other 2 wide receivers the Eagles drafted later in the round this past season. You know what I'm saying? And these guys not performing up to their expectations. So whoever the wide receiver coach is, he ain't shit. He needs to go. So the Eagles need another quarterback coach, wide receiver coach, offensive coordinator, and a new defensive coordinator. We need those 3 positions. Those 4 positions filled when the season comes to an end, and I believe they will because everybody knows the NFL draft is in April. So the Eagles going to have until January to March to fill these positions because, see, this is crazy. I mean, for me to mention these 4 positions, and we had Mike Groh, who was my receiver coach, and he did real well when he was wide receiver coach. And yet he fucked up when he became the offensive coordinator. And the Eagles' offense was a bomb after that. That's why he got fired. And now he's in Chicago, wide receiver coach. The Eagles lost their defensive back coach in Corey Ewing, who became defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. And Detroit Lions have fired their coach, Mike Patricia. Now Corey Ewing, defensive coordinator, he's still there. So I don't even know why he's there. I don't know why he's still there. But then we had this quarterback coach we got now, Preston Taylor, who needs to be fired this offseason because he ain't shit. He is not a good quarterback coach because he doesn't have chemistry with Carson. When Frank Reich was here, Frank Reich was the quarterback coach, and he was more of a quarterback coach than anything. And he was also the offensive coordinator, so he made sure that Carson stayed upright to play the ball. And I'm quite sure a lot of y'all thinking now that Doug Pitt should have been fired, and they should have made Frank Reich the head coach. If that was the case, we would still be in the playoffs, I'm sure of it, because look at what he's doing with the Indianapolis Colts. Need I say more? And then last but not least, we need another defensive coordinator, and that's Jim Schwartz. He needs to go because his defense is predictable in so many ways. And bringing in the free agents, Malik Jackson, and the other defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, they ain't really doing much. To me, they ain't doing nothing to me. I'm sorry. The Eagles need a defensive coordinator that can bring pressure with their fronts or blessing linebackers and blessing cornerbacks and safeties. We need the old Jim Johnson scheme back. I think if we had that scheme back, we would be okay. Because Kansas City Chiefs and let me see who else running it. Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, they both are running Jim Johnson's cornerback zone blitz schemes. They run those schemes in Buffalo and run them schemes in Kansas City. That's why Kansas City got a top 10 ranked defense. That's why Buffalo got a top 10 ranked defense. Because they run Jim Johnson schemes, but they run it at a whole new different level. So, with that being said, Jalen Hurts threw for over 270-some yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, like I mentioned before. Fumbled the ball once. The running game was pretty good. Mike Sanders, I'm not sure if he had 100 yards rushing or anywhere close to it. I'm not exactly sure, but he was on pace for 1,000 yards this year. I don't know if he got 1,000 yards, not to be honest with you. So, I mean, it's just so much confusion, so much pain and frustration with this Eagles football team. It's just crazy. So, with that being said, all in a nutshell, I'm going to go ahead and end this on a high note because, like I said before, defense was bad. After Fletcher Cox went out, defense just got bad. They couldn't cover nobody out wide. Michael Gallup had 181 yards rushing. Gallup had 100 yards receiving. Coop had 100 yards receiving. Ezekiel Elliott had 100 yards rushing because when Fletcher Cox went out, that made them vulnerable to the run game. Offensive line of the Cowboys that pushed them out the way, and Ezekiel Elliott had so many lanes to run, it was crazy. And then Andy Dalton even ran a few times for first down. So, I mean, everybody in the NFL knows the Eagles are vulnerable to running quarterbacks. We have faced 2 this year. And then Andy Dalton he's not a mobile quarterback, but he ran good enough to get first downs. I mean, woo! All in a nutshell. I'll be glad when this comes to an end. And this is your boy, The Green Talons, coming at you with another video. Week 15, disaster. Eagles lost 37-17. Lost by 20 points. The Eagles being the Cowboys made. they made Hurts like a rookie. They made him like a rookie. They really did. They came at their boys in so many ways, it's unimaginable. I mean, he see the boys in a flurry of pass rushers. He seen them all. He got sacked. Matter of fact, he got sacked twice in that game. To be exact, I forgot to mention that he got sacked twice in this football game. So, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, I'm releasing my frustration because of the fact I'm really pissed. So, without any further ado, I'm going to end the video. Peace, one love.